Hello friends, it's me, your friend Vincent Funsholuro. Again, I've come to you again today to speak to you on a topic of titled Stir Up the Gift That Is in You. Stir up the gift that is in you. It's based on the admonition or word of encouragement, if you like, that the Apostle Paul gave to his spiritual son, Timothy, who was the administrator, who was like overseer or administrator of the churches, of the church in Ephesus. Paul left Timothy to administer and to oversee the church in Ephesus after he established the church. And he wrote to him two epistles that are recorded in the New Testament. The first one is First Timothy, of course, and the second, from which this admonition comes, is the second epistle of Paul to Timothy in the first chapter, verse 6. It says, "Therefore I remind you, I put you to remembrance of the need for you to stir up the gift of God, which is in you through the laying on of my hands." Paul said, remember to be diligent to stir up the gift that was deposited in you when I laid my hands upon you. Now, Timothy is a very, very, very interesting character, and I commend him to your study if you are a Bible student of any shape or form. If you read first the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 16, it talks about the story of how Paul met Timothy in Lystra and Derbe, and how he became his spiritual son, and how he brought him on into his apostolic team. Now, Timothy has an interesting background which will help us to understand and give context to this encouragement or admonition from Paul. The first thing, as you will see in Acts 16, was that he came from a heritage of faith, albeit he had a mixed heritage. His mother was Jewish, but his father was Greek, so he had a mixed heritage. That would probably have affected him in terms of acceptance from either camp. The Jews will think, oh, he's not quite Jew enough, and of course the Greek will think, oh, he's just one Greek Jewish guy of mixed heritage. Anyway, Timothy was brought onto the apostolic team, and he was circumcised very late. Remember, Jewish boys should be circumcised on the 8th day and all that, but he was circumcised when he was a young man, and he became a follower and a disciple of Jesus through Paul. Now, after Paul established the church in Ephesus, there were quite a lot of problems with the church. There were quite a lot of disputations, a lot of people trying to introduce heretic doctrines and all that. But since Paul had to move on with his ministry to other places, he chose Timothy to stay behind, and then he wrote him some epistles or some letters, the second of which we're considering, the 6th verse of the first chapter of the second epistle. It says there, "Don't forget to stir up your gift, which you received when I laid my hands on you." Now, Paul did not mention specifically what this gift was, so we don't know. We can only speculate, which I'm not prepared to do. But the fact is that even though Timothy was a leader and he was like an administrator or overseer of a church, yet he had this particular gift dormant. So much so that the Apostle Paul had to encourage him and warn him and beg him to stir up that gift. So sometimes people think that the reason why they can't use the gift is because they are not in position of authorities, they are not the preacher, they're not the big people in the church. But clearly in the case of Timothy, his dominant or preeminent, one of his dominant or preeminent gifts was being neglected, even though he was a church administrator. Maybe he was too busy doing a lot of admin and a lot of overseeing that he didn't use this gift, and that's why Paul had to remind him to stir up that gift. We do not know, but that's probably what's the situation. But apart from that, Timothy had other issues which can help inform us too. One, he was a rather young man, and that's why Paul encouraged him, said, don't let people look down on you because you're young. He was a young man, and he was a timid person. And from Paul said he should be strong in the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ. So Timothy was young, probably single, we're not sure. He was young relative to a lot of the people in the church. It was timid in nature, from as we can glean from Paul's epistles to him, and also he had some form of chronic health issues with his stomach, particularly. And Paul even advised him, don't drink water alone any longer, but drink some wine to help with your frequent illnesses. So Timothy was regularly sick. So he was not only young, he was rather timid by nature, and he was regularly sick, and so he had health issues. But in spite of all this, God still used him wonderfully, and Paul, the apostle, trusted him with leading a church at such a young age, and not just any church, but a church that was undergoing some turbulence. And Paul now wrote to him that you should stir up the gift that is in you. Each and every one of us, including you and I, have some gifts that we are neglecting, or we're not using to the maximum potential that God has given us. And this is my encouragement to you, that whatever your challenges, whatever your limitations, is it business like Timothy, because he was so busy trying to steady the ship of the church? Or is it because maybe you're timid, or you don't have opportunity, you think you don't have opportunity to lead at the level you would like to? Or maybe people look down on you, maybe because you're young, or you're female, or whatever, or you don't have the right accent, you don't have the right look, you don't have the right heritage, like Timothy, maybe you're whatever. But in spite of all this, you can still stir up your gift. You can stir up your gift by praying. You can stir up your gift by remembering to use it. You can stir up your gift by investing in training, by investing in learning on how to use it. You can stir up your gift by becoming a mentee to someone who's already using that gift and learning from them, whether remotely or one-to-one. But whatever your circumstances are, whatever your situation, please be reminded that God is going to hold you accountable for the use of your gift. So I will encourage you, like Paul encouraged Timothy, and I'm encouraging myself by this too. Please stir up the gift that is in you. Put it to use. Fan the dying embers of the flame. Fan it into fire. Put some tinder on it. Put some kindling on it, and put some new logs, and fan it back into flame, and use it for the benefit of man and for the glory of God. Again, use it for the benefit of man and for the glory of God. I hope you've been encouraged by this. I will recommend to you the reading of Acts 16 and the first and second letters of Paul to Timothy, because there you will see quite a lot of things that will help you to get this in context. Because it's a short video, I can only it's just a word of exhortation. Stir up the gift that is in you. Put it to use. Start using it. Start investing in it, and start manifesting it, because that is what God requires and expects of you. God bless and keep you. If you like this video, please share it, and make your comments, and share it with other people. May God bless and keep you. Have a lovely day. Bye. Thank you.